Howdy everybody. So today I'm going to take this game I made called Pulsen and I'm going to remake it in JavaScript. I saw something called React 3 Fiber and this is the one. Yeah. And so it allows you to do 3D in JavaScript by importing like meshes and 3D models and other things. And I'm wondering if I can remake Pulsen in this. Now, it using 3D does not mean I can remake Pulsen. That has nothing to do with it. Yes, the game has 3D, but it also has 2D. And everything does take place in a 3D space, but that is, I mean, I could do most of this with the DOM, right? So the reason I would use a library like this is because if I can get 3D models to work, I'm kind of interested if I could reprogram my game in JavaScript instead with React, just to see how quickly I could do it. Now, I'm a little busy today, so I don't know how long I'm going to have to go through all this, but that just adds more interesting pieces to it to me, because if I can do this, that'll be a great accomplishment. So I'm going to put, I don't know what the CH thing is here. I'm going to move this to a different location so that I can see it. This is the game I made. It's called Pulsen. I don't want to show anything here. So, like, it's a music rhythm game. It's got stuff like this where the arrows come up from the bottom and they go to the top. This is like really old footage though. Yeah, so okay, that's the game. So I want to see if I can make this in there. It needs a few things like a song selection, stuff like that. I don't know how we're gonna do any of this. It's not like I have Electron. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But like, there's a song selection screen. There is a title screen. We don't need everything, right? All we need is really this gameplay piece. So if I can get a song in here and I can read and parse that file, then we can put some steps on the screen. What I'm really curious about, I don't even need the music. I just need to see if like I can get models to come up from the bottom to the top and then hit them with the keyboard, and then maybe have them be within like a time frame. I can figure out how to get them on beat with the music. So like, I didn't build the engine for this game, and the engine did all that for me. I built all the UI elements. I built all the programming behind the scenes. I built how the screens work, all the logic, how it connects to the internet, all that stuff. But the actual logic of how the arrows move on the screen, I did not build that particular logic, even though I probably could have at the time. But now I mean, I'm gonna have to do it from scratch because I don't remember any of this. It's been like 8 years, 10 years. I don't know. It's been a while. So this is a Create React app, and I'm going to fix it so it looks a little bit nicer. And I don't like to use CSS in my projects. I like to use Emotion, so I should install that too. Man, I should have set this up. I'm gonna pause the video here and finish setting it up so that it uses Emotion, and we can get some styles on the screen, and then we'll be in a good spot. Okay, I think I've installed everything I needed. So I'm gonna try it real quick just to test it. So to do anything with Emotion CSS, you need this piece at the top of your file. Because Create React App doesn't support Babel customization, and I don't know. I keep using Create React App, but honestly, I'd rather use my own. The thing is, I don't want to spend time developing my own again. I've developed it multiple times, like a Webpack kind of builder. I could use Next.js or something else. Okay, well, here's another problem. It should be tabs, but it's not, and it's all formatted weird. I think this is gonna break it. Yeah, it just broke it. Okay, let's do this. T3 convert to tabs. And it's going to break, but we can fix it. I can't believe I have... You know what? All this is gone. Who cares, right? I don't need that. I don't even need the div, but right now I need the div. And it's probably going to auto-format it if I do this. All right, so I don't want the CSS, right? Whatever's in the app CSS. I don't need that SVG logo either. I haven't even run the project yet. All right, so all of this we could move to Emotion, but honestly, I don't care. I just want nothing. I want nothing out of here. So if we do use CSS, we'll put it in here. But the app itself doesn't need any CSS. I guess the only thing we would need is removing the body. Does this do it? There's like some margin on the body in HTML. I would like to remove that. There's something called global. I think it's just called global. Might be global styles. Something like that in Emotion. Emotion. You guys aren't going to see me typing outside of this box. Global. Okay, so it's called global. And I think in here you can put your normal styles. So you can do one of these guys like this. Self-closing. And then you put in here a CSS tag. And I'm going to define them outside of this. It's not CSS. It's style. They call it styles, which is weird. All the other ones say CSS. Global styles, there we go. And then It is not. It is not this. It is not. It's formatted completely different. No, you can use CSS. Yeah, you can. It's still called styles, but you can use CSS. Their emotion CSS tag function thing. All right, so let's see. It's going to be body margin 0. And then there's also a couple other things I always do. Is this? Do this. If you're using IE8 or below, you just use a single colon here. But this is the proper way to do it. So if you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. All right, let's see. So this will be box sizing border box. I haven't done this in forever. I think that's correct. Okay, so that gives us global styles for the whole page. And there's like literally nothing else. I want to put something on the page. So I'll just wrap these in a div and then put some div with text on it so that I at least can verify it's working. I hate that they changed Emmet. Okay, so I just do this and I say hello. And now I got to run the app. Is it yarn start? Yes. Okay, good. Oh, you guys aren't going to see it running. Okay, well, then I'm going to put it next to it. And honestly, I don't know if anybody can see this text here. I should have the font pretty big, but I'm not exactly sure. I should probably... Where's it running? Oh, browser list error. Oh, they added stuff in here, didn't they? I guess I could just not have my own browser list file. That's fine. Whatever. Come on. We're going to see something over here. Honestly, this picture is kind of ugly. I don't want that one. There we go. Oh. I got to add my ESLint libraries. Okay, fine. Yarn add that and that. That should fix those problems. And we're going to be using this React 3 fiber library. Anybody watching this video right now is probably completely confused as to what we're doing. So it's like, yeah, okay, we're going to remake this thing. And now I'm like, I have to like set up this project and get it working. And I don't know, you know, I'm just kind of like doing it. It's like, I don't know. You can't find it? Oh, because that's not the name of the... It's not this. It's not named this because the ESLint people are really weird. And it's called ESLint config, like something like that. And that's how they do it. And then I do this, and I do this, and then I install those. This probably should be a -D. Man, so annoying. So you guys can't see the console because I didn't set it up on the screen because I was expecting it to just be this. This one will show errors like this kind of error. So you don't really need the console at this point. The problem is you can't see me like starting and stopping the app, and so you just see me like do nothing. What a boring intro too. I mean, I could like edit this out, but I don't want to do any editing really at all. Oh my gosh! How many other things do I need to install? Like, why didn't I just put this in my ESLint library? What was I thinking? Seriously. Because, oh, I might want to update them out of sync. It's like, no, I'll just do it in the ESLint library and then update it everywhere else. I mean, it was too much of a pain, and now I'm running into these problems. Okay, so I had another app that I worked on in a video that I haven't posted yet, and I installed all the things I needed. So let's see what I got. What's missing? All this crap? Well, I'm glad, like, I didn't... There. Jeez. Yarn and yarn start. Now I'll run yarn. Typically when I do my projects, I'll have something in the scripts here that says, like on the start command, I'll run yarn before it, or there'll be like a pre-process command that runs yarn. So no matter what, you'll always have the most up-to-date library thingies. But like at work, I would do something where I have a Docker container, and the Docker container runs yarn for you, so you don't need it as part of the command. And honestly, like, yeah, I don't know. This is only when you're doing local development. Semicolons. I don't want semicolons. Oh, it wasn't linting because I just added the lint libraries. Okay, well, there they are. What's wrong here? Is it one like new lines or something? Man, when they change the ESLint rules, my rules change too. They change defaults and other things like that, and it makes my code different. All right, so we've got this. I do want it in the center of the screen. I don't know a good way to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this like app styles. It's gonna be. The only reason I want this in the center of the screen is I think it'll look nicer because we're gonna make the game and everything will be centered. So why not? The way to center it would be display flex, and then align item center. I mean, this has nothing to do with the game. This is just me centering everything. Honestly, I don't even think I need any of this. Okay, really, I don't. And the reason I don't think I need this is because by the time we get to the point where we're going to need to put things in the center of the screen, I'll have like 3D meshes and stuff all over the place, and they'll take up the whole screen. So there's no point. Maybe if I hide 100%, I definitely don't think this is gonna work. You have to do like 100 VH, but then it won't pay attention to the lower scroll bar. Yeah, okay. I'll just do 100 VH for now. The div is 100% width normally anyway. Technically, I think it's with auto, but I don't think so. When you have a display block, or display flex, which uses display block, it's 100% width no matter what. Okay, so we got our text. We're at a good spot. This is great. I'm going to go commit this to Git, which you guys are also not going to see, but it's basically like added packages for one piece, and the other one is updated app to display placeholder text. And it's all white too, right? Like this doesn't look good to have it all white like that. I like that background I had before. And that CSS file I deleted. Maybe I didn't delete it. Let's see, did I not delete it? I did not delete it. Cool, we can get that color that they use in Create React App and use it here. What is the color they use? Am I missing it? Okay. Yeah, this is what I want. Oh, and then we need the text color to be white. Okay. Stop with these tab the editor config file should fix these tabs and stuff. I mean, this should fix it. I don't know why it's not doing it. Okay, so now we've essentially copied Create React App. Bam. It didn't take very long. It doesn't have a logo, but I don't want the logo. I want 3D models. So let's try out this React 3 Fiber. And what I'm going to do is in another screen, I've got like a file manager open where I'm pulling in game assets from Pulsen. And I'm going to try them over here and hope they work. I don't even know how to edit them. I might... Oh, no, I might need Blender. I don't have Blender. And that's a big app, too. And I don't know how to use it. Oh. Oh, no. I want it. Oh. Okay, well, let's see if it... Because the engine I used something called Milky, which is like a weird 3D format, but I could export to object. I don't even know where I keep my 3D objects. I know where they are in the game, like the meshes, but I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay, let's create a new component. Let's not do everything in app, right? The new component's gonna be called, oh man, 3D model, 3D model test. Yes. This is how I do it. Okay, and then we'll just export it. That, and you shouldn't need to import React anymore. That's not a thing. What is it erroring about? Oh, new line at the end of the file. That would have happened if I saved it. 3D model test.js, and then in here, I'm going to import that 3D model, whatever. And I'm going to import it. I guess we could like override this. I'm not gonna do it yet, I guess, but that's fine. Okay, so it's working. Yeah, it's working. So now what do we do? Why do we have two of these? All right, I gotta find my stuff. So I don't want to show you like all the internals of where I store everything on my file system and things like that, but I do want to show like importing a 3D model. The problem is, okay, let's look at the React 3.js. Okay, if we look at their example, which I don't have on the screen. This example here, they're saying that we need to use this stuff here. Canvas and use frame. So let's reformat this for ESLint to be happy. Normally, ESLint would auto-format this, but Create React App, they don't care about like nice stuff. I probably expect you to use prettier, and I don't like prettier. And I don't know why you wouldn't just use ESLint. Yes, prettier comes with a bunch of stuff built in, but the formatting is awful. So It's based on the length of the line, so it formats inconsistently. Sometimes it puts stuff in one line, sometimes it puts it in multi-lines based on the length of the line, which is really, really awful user experience. I don't like it at all. I would rather everything be consistent. It's always this way. It's, you're always hitting new lines, or, if there's more than one item, you're always putting a new line. I don't care how long the line is. I just, like, my screen could be 60 characters, it could be 80, it could be 100. I don't care how long it is. I care that we're consistently coding in a way that if I look at something, I know exactly how it should look. Like in this case, they're hitting the enter key for every single prop here, and then for everything that they put in. Right? Except for when there's a single prop. Great. There's the rule. I could like look at this code base and know how to code this myself. I know I'm like a little frustrated with this, and I have like no reason to be. I just started, right? There's nothing actually frustrating about this. It's all prettier. Okay, so they're calling it box. I mean, that's obviously not what I want to call something, is box. It's called 3D model test. Okay, that's the proper way to do it. All right, so I guess I need a hook, use frame. I have no clue what this frame is. And what is this stuff? You're like mutating the mesh rotation. I guess we could do this just to like give us some animation. Like it's making these boxes turn. I don't care about clicking them though. So all I need is this use frame. Oh, it's like, I see, use frame is, okay. It's like use effect. It's a use effect. It's a side effect that occurs, but where's mesh defined? So I'm a little curious how they're getting this mesh thing. They're creating it as a ref. Why don't you call it mesh ref? Because like if I looked at this and you saw mesh.current, I wouldn't know. Well, I would know it's a ref, but I would think it's very strange that you're doing it that way. Okay, and I mean there. This just looks awful. Was it complaining? Operator assignment. Shorthand plus equals. Unexpected operator assignment shorthand. Can I do it like this? I've never done something like this in the middle of this zone. Yeah, wait a second. You're modifying the X and the Y at the same time? What is this code? This is awful. No, absolutely not. No. You're either doing a plus or you're doing an equal. You're not doing 2 and 1. Jeez. If you're gonna do that, just do the Y here too, and say the Y is equal to the X value that you just set. Or the Y is also equal to Y plus 1. So you can modify it in the future separately from the X value. I had no clue that this was doing 2 operations in one. You're setting the Y value at the same time you're setting the X value. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Ow. Okay, so it's saying it can't use 3 from React 3 Fiber. Can't resolve 3. Number 1, I'm not using 3. Number 2, I'm not rendering anything. So use frame probably doesn't work because I bet you there's a context somewhere. At this canvas, it's probably the context. Okay, so we need to like wrap all this in the canvas, okay? But if I do it, their use frame is outside of the canvas because it's in this component. And you would say, well, that shouldn't matter, right? But it does, because the way React works, you can't get access to the context outside of the components it's defined in. There's a way to make it work. You can use events and event buses and stuff to make that work. I've never actually coded it that way. I've coded other things similar, but I've never coded that particular solution because I haven't had a need, although I do have a need, because I want to be able to define my canvas in this component and be able to use frame in the same component. And I will just put an ID on my use frame so that it knows which canvas or which context it should be pointing at, But that's not how these work, and that's not how they're set up. So basically, I can't return the canvas here. I have to return I can return a div for now, but I have to have this like canvas out here, which sucks because the app doesn't care about canvas. The only thing that cares about canvas is 3D model test. So then I'd have to like have a wrapper component that like includes a canvas, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll just put it in here for now and just be happy with myself. Ideally, I don't want my app.js file to have to know about everything inside of it. I think that should be up to like each particular page or 3D model test or whatever. I don't want to call this test either. Just call it 3D model, because it's not really a test, right? It's not a unit test or anything, and that's confusing. Let's just do this. I know I'm naming this crappy. I don't even know what it is yet. I haven't defined everything. And it doesn't like something about this mesh ref. Use ref is not defined. Well, that's obviously my fault. Okay. There's a lot of negativity in this video, and it's my fault. So even assigning blame, that's again negativity. Okay, let's see. Let me just do one of these guys. I mean, why not make it consistent? Why not make them all look like this? At least it's consistent. This one's not like that. I'm not going to change it right now. I'm going to focus on this. Okay, so it takes ... props from what's called, like, I don't know why I care about this. Why are you passing? I don't know what these props are. There's no prop types. It's just defining props and being like, nah, they go straight to the mesh. I get why you would do that. It's kind of like a function thing, but I don't like it because I don't know what these props are, and I don't know what's safe to add or remove anymore. I don't know if I add something here if I'm overriding it. So I need the ref to be the mesh ref. Okay, so we need to figure out this mesh thing. Yeah, first things first. Okay, it's not broken. Cool. Our text is not showing up though. Hello is not showing up, which means the canvas might be full screen. There's like nothing in here. Yeah, the React app's not working. Oh, still says can't resolve 3 and React 3 fiber. I thought the canvas was where it resolves 3. Unless there's extra setup. Okay. New 3.mesh. Does it install 3? Oh, I didn't install 3. Okay. By the way, this is an awful library name, 3. Like, what if you release the next version? Is it called 4? Or is it called 3.1 or 3.2? You know, or V2, 3 version 2. I think 3 is for 3D or 3 dimensions. But you could have called it like 3D, like I did. Like that. You know? I know D is like a girl's name or something, but... I mean, I'm assuming the designer's name is not D. Otherwise, they would have put 3D and it would have been like the designer's last name or something like that. Alright, let's try this again. I'll go refresh the other page. I want my hello to show up again. And my nice background colors and... Okay. This stuff again. Why is it erroring anyway? All of these should be warnings. I don't care if this is a semicolon. Yeah, okay, fix it yourself, you know? I usually have autofix on, so it never is an issue. I didn't copy anything with semicolons. It's in index.js? Fine. Why didn't it error before? Okay, what's the report web vitals? Okay, you can lose your semicolons too. It has other errors too. In fact, I don't even think I need this. Do I? Isn't this commented out somewhere? If I go to index, I thought it was commented out. If you want to start measuring performance, pass a function to log results. Well, why don't I just not use it at all in the first place? Oops. Why did I not use it at all in the first place? But I still don't know why it's not working. It's not rendering. It rendered something in React and then died. The above error occurred in the div component. Yes. Uncut div is not part of 3 namespace. I know. Okay, so I need to I can put meshes here. Well, the problem is if I put a mesh here, then I don't have the mesh. Like, I don't have a 3D model. Do you have an example here of a box that I could use, please? Can I use your mesh? I gotta go get my mesh and see if it works. I don't even know. It was made for a completely different render. Okay, well, obviously they have a mesh because it's working. Oh, that's really cool. And that's really smooth. Their GIF doesn't give this justice. That is so cool. Alright. I guess I could copy it, right? I don't care about the props thing, but I could do the rest. Stupid tabbing issues. Mesh is not defined. Well, I know mesh is not defined. What else isn't defined? Okay, let's see at the top of this. I don't see mesh used at all here. It's magic. Oh, because mesh is a ref? Wait. How are you rendering this? Oh, this is the one it's complaining about. Mesh is a component in the 3 namespace. I get it now. It's like the React namespace. You can render div or something. So they've got like You know how you have React DOM.render? They must have something here that's not React DOM. They've got some other render. Where is it? They're still using React DOM.render. How are they feeding it custom components? Oh, maybe Canvas defines these custom components and what they do. This is not simple to get set up. Active is not defined. Oh, I know it's not defined. I didn't care about these things, man. I'm not even like looking at the code. It's like erroring and showing all this crap here. Box buffer geometry. What's the problem here? Well, obviously that's unexpected. Is it like... Is this children? Is this supposed to be children and I removed something I shouldn't have? Okay, let's go back to this. Yeah, see this here? Why the heck is that over there? Because that's over there. I didn't understand that these are children. It's just like, it's like, I like everything tabbed together, like on the same line. That's so good. Look how great it looks. Yeah, except for these are components and they're inside of this thing. And these are props and they're separated. They're not the same thing. They're completely different. Like, this is how I would expect it to look. So that I can see a clear separation between props and components. I know, like, oh, components have this thing here. Yeah, but, like, why do I have to be responsible for that every time I take a look at something? Okay, so if I remove your on-clicks and all that stuff, can I achieve this result myself? No, because it's still using the active thing. So we don't need the active thing. We just want one-to-one, right? And why isn't this array statically defined? And we get the hover issue. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of the hover stuff. I don't know what this is, but let's just do the orange. And then at that point, I don't need these. Okay. I've simplified this like way too much. But either way, I'm going to... That is also interesting. There's a scaling here and a scaling here. I wonder what the difference is. Scale. I'm going to statically assign this because there's no reason to recreate this array every single time the component reloads. I know it's not a big deal in this small little like piece here, but it will be a bigger deal in a much larger project. Okay, so it's not orange though. It's definitely not orange. What did you guys do to make it orange? I mean, they literally typed in hot pink and orange. I don't know where these colors came from. Did they define it somewhere? Point light? I don't have lights, do I? Is that the issue? Is I just don't have lights? And why? I don't want app to be controlling the whole canvas. I have to create a new component now for that. It'll be called scene or something else. Okay, that they have lights. That's what it is. Okay, so let's do this. Scene.js. And I know scene is really generic and it's an awful name. And I'm complaining about everybody else's code, but this is I just need to get something figured out here. I just want to program my game in here. I thought it'd be like so cool. I have a lot of fun. I just like put my game in here. You know, there's gonna be a lot of like interesting stuff that happens. And now I'm like fighting with the system. Can't even get the dang example to work. Okay, let's also import the 3D model. I could have just done all of this because it's not used in app anymore. I removed it. Oh, but app does use scene. Okay. Very negative in this video. I think I'm just kind of frustrated that it's not working immediately, which is preventing me from actually doing what I wanted to do. Position. This is not really position, okay? If somebody gave me position, I would expect it to be a single number or something or an object, you know, not an array of 3 values. Scale was the same way. I'm going to leave it as position for now. Scale was the same way where it's like 3 values. It's not really scales either. That's just a weird name. Okay, and then we export default scene. Done. Okay. I think it wants me to hit the new line after each of these. Oops. I'm going to copy this real quick and put it over here because I'm going to need it. Yeah, I'm going to need it here. Wow. Okay. So what is it complaining now? Hooks can only be used within the canvas. They are only used in the canvas. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of the hello. We actually have a model. Somehow we've got a box. So I want to know what happens if I get rid of this. What's this point light? There must be 2 lights on this. Yeah. Yeah, so ambient light is what's triggering the orange to work. And oranges must be defined in three.js. Point light must be defining that there is a light pointed at it at a certain space. That's why the color is changing as it spins. See? So as long as you have a point light, you can change the color. The reason ambient light's needed is because you can't see certain faces of the cube that's spinning when that point light is not on it. So it's kind of like the moon is dark on the other side because the sun is shining on only one side of it. That's why there's an ambient light, and then it makes it a little bit prettier. That's fine. Like, I don't care too much about this. I don't mind it. It just means that it's going to be overall brighter than it probably should be. But the ambient light, so on the dark faces of it, so the point light must be coming from this side. The ambient light that's on this thing is going to produce the actual orange color of what it would normally be. I think that's what ambient light is supposed to be. You can't see me putting my finger quotes up. So we can do a few more things to this to make it more interesting. One is we can slow down the rotation because I honestly think it's too fast. Now this value, this could be like rotation speed, or we could define it here. We could also define it at the top. I like that it's slower. Gives me a little bit more time to figure out what's going on. Okay, so that's one thing we can do. And then the other thing we can do is args. It just says args. Okay, baby's done crying now. So I think this obviously mesh standard material is what's coloring it orange. Okay, and then so that's a texture map or whatever that they're using to color the polygon. And then box buffer geometry must be how it's like the shape of it. So I want to add like a fourth one. I want to see if we can get a hexagon or some other shape here. Now obviously it's not a hexagon, it's like a cubic hexagon. So adding more numbers doesn't do anything, but I think I can elongate it in one direction if I do this. Yeah. Okay, and obviously it's not smart enough to handle that very good. These are all relative sizes, I think. I mean, this is not like pixels. This is not 5 pixels. What's like a unit? I don't know. 2 is a lot. 2 is like huge. And like, can I make it a circle if I add a couple more of these? Like, what does this do? Do I need pi? I need 3, and then I need a 0.14 here. Like, I don't understand. I can't click and drag it. Obviously, I haven't programmed that. So it's bigger on one side. I'm gonna make it a little bit oblong just for fun. But yeah, adding more numbers here is not doing anything. So I don't know what this is. I think box buffer geometry has something to do with like a box. It creates cubes like this. I wonder if I can create a square. That's another thing I'm curious about. Okay, we're done with your example. Thank you very much. Let's see what else you've got here. API, pitfalls, and recipes. Okay, pitfalls is going to be a big problem because I don't know what does and doesn't work. Use 3. Okay, so that's probably how you use it directly. I don't want to put stuff in the canvas directly. So sphere. There's where you get a circle. How do I get my custom 3D model? Please tell me. Let's add a sphere to it anyway. Let's do this. Do I want scale? Do you even put the scale anyway? I'm assuming 111 is like the default scale. Okay. I'm gonna be very clear here. This is not a sphere. Whoever made this, React 3 fiber library, I don't think they understand what a sphere is. This is clearly not a sphere. What props does this take? Also, there's like some fringing on the edges here. They must have some kind of post-processing that's happening. It's zoomed in. Nope, it's not zoomed. Oh, hang on. Yeah, they have. It's because of the zoom. I see. So if you zoom in, it actually lowers the resolution. If I zoom out, it probably raises the resolution. But it's hard to tell. That's kind of insane. I had no clue. But this is definitely not a sphere. This is like some weird oblong egg thing. And I don't understand. Oh, there's a scale. Oh, so there's the box itself takes a scale. And then the mesh itself takes a scale. What if I get rid of the scale? I want to get like a sphere, like a legit looking sphere. Oh, why did it comment out like this? Definitely not. Okay, let's just do this 1-1-1. I want to get the sphere to look good. I don't want a sphere. I mean, right now we're just experimenting. I just want to make sure it works. That's really weird that it comments that way. Maybe it doesn't know what a mesh is. Okay, so that's supposed to be a sphere. I mean, I can make it hot pink. It's not going to save anything. It's position of the light. That's not the issue. It's just there's literally not enough polygons in the sphere for it to be a sphere. I can't even tell what this icon is. Okay, we need more point lights because I can't tell what's going on here. So we're going to have another one. Position 1, maybe? Position 2? I mean, these are awful names. Position top right, and then position top left. How about that? I have a feeling, though, the point light, I want this one to be further away. And that's just making it further on the right side. This is obviously not what I want. I'm going to fix this real quick. And then alphabetize. Because it's easier that way. All right, but I think what I need to do... These are both in the same direction. I need to figure out how to get one like over here. And that would most likely be this first value. And it should be like less bright. Yeah, the problem is it's just too bright. Can I like make it further away? I just need a little bit more light. Like, can I remove the ambient light and then that should help me figure out how the sphere looks? There we go. Now I got it. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a sphere. I'm seeing it now. There's some more detail. What if I get rid of this particular point light? I think a lot of it's going to be black. There we go. See, we're getting the sphere. I'm seeing more that it's a sphere. I'm gonna put one in the bottom. I mean, you probably shouldn't name these positions based on where they're located. They should be based on what they are. So this is like the close position. And it's technically close is not really the right word either. I don't know how to name these. I've never done this. Okay, and then the other one is I'll just say far position. How about that? Yeah, but like the further I make it, it doesn't seem to change. I mean, there's the exact amount of light on the left side as there is on the right side. It's really not what I want. And if I do this, it should be coming from the bottom, on the bottom left. Yeah, I think the z-axis is what's really important to me. I'm going to set these to 10 and leave the z-axis at 100. It just looks bad. I'm going to leave it how it was and not add a second one because I really don't understand how this works. I'm playing around with it without any knowledge. I'm not even reading the docs. I just want to try it out. So obviously I don't know what I'm doing. This is not a sphere, though. It is a sphere, but it's not. Like, there's clearly not enough polygons. Okay. So Canvas can take a bunch of extra stuff. None of this matters to me. Okay, well, it has anti-aliasing. That's nice. High performance, power preference. I mean, this is all fine to me. FOV? Ah, that might be interesting to mess with later. FOV is still important even if you're doing 2D games. Because it's the way the 3D objects appear in your 2D games. And everything's technically 3D in a 2D game. That's in a 3D engine. Okay, so in a 2D game that's in a 3D engine like Shovel Knight, it's actually FOV would actually come into effect. It like all the parallaxing and stuff. That's how I handle that. Okay, so position U3 vector, new rotation, Euler. Oh man, sphere geometry, man, I have no clue. So the mesh has some like weird stuff on it. Oh, I might be able to use this actually. Okay, let's look at like an arrow, 3D arrow that I have. I'm trying to find it actually. It's under something called node skins. It's been so long. Yeah, node skins. I don't know where I put the originals though. Okay. These are PSDs. Ah, M3D, MS3D. This is Milky. Yeah, I can't read this. What about this one? Ah, there we go. Okay, this is something. I think I have this Milky app still. I don't think I have installed though. Okay, well this is like a file with some numbers in it. I want one with like way less in terms of geometry data, so that I can do something better with it. Let's see. What about this one? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't even know which arrow I'm looking at. I'm making assumptions here because I'm layering like textures on top of my 3D models. One of them, this is like an OBJ. So OBJ is something that you can get out of whatever it's called. It starts with a D. I said it earlier. It's like an orange. Oh, Blender. No, it starts with a B. Yeah, something you can get out. Blender works with OBJs. I think it's like a universal 3D format, but I'm not exactly sure. Looking at this, it's human readable, so I think it's probably a crappy format in general. It's probably just something to be transportable. So there's like a bunch of stuff in here. Now, if you're watching this video, like wondering what was the point, what am I doing, why am I like spending so much time, I don't understand what's going on. I'm trying to show you what it would be like if I did this myself. And so it starts with frustration, and usually I'll finally get something working, and then I'll decide if it's too much work to continue or if I will continue and actually build the thing. That's pretty much where I'm at this point, because I'm already hitting a point where I think this is way more complicated than I expected. I saw an example where somebody just put a mesh in there, and not a mesh, but this kind of thing. They had one of these, they made it in Blender, they put it in there, and then they showed it in three.js, and I was like, well, that's cool. Once I have the 3D model, I can program all the DOM elements and stuff to move, because that's stuff I can do on my own. At this point, I can't even get the 3D models to display, so I'm like getting really frustrated. There are so many events here. I don't need any of them. What's on update? Props have been updated. Interesting. I don't know what that is. Why this exists. Self? Ooh, interesting. Can you do like skeletal animations and stuff with this? I'm obviously thinking you can. No, so none of these, I'm looking for keywords, and none of these keywords are making me think, this is the thing I know, and I understand what it does, and I need it. Like cameras and all this crap, I have no clue. Right now, I just want to get a 3D model to display, because obviously a sphere is not a sphere. This is like a triangle. It's an octagon. Octagon. There we go. It looked better with a single light source and no ambient light. I wonder if you can make the material shiny. Like there's a metallic color or something, so then I can see that it is a sphere and I can see the edges of it. There's not enough shadows. That's the real problem I'm seeing right now. It worked great with it. You know what? Let's go back to the cube thing, because the cube actually looked decent. So if I do this, yeah, it keeps the brackets. Get rid of the sphere. Okay, this looks okay. The hot pink is kind of weird. I wonder what other colors they have. Hot orange. Yeah, oops. I don't know what's going on there. This is hot orange, guys. If you didn't know, it's this dark pink color. You know, you could have just called it... What about magenta? That's purple. That's clearly purple. Is this going to be green? That's cyan. I would say it's almost a sky blue, but that's definitely cyan. Oh, I'm back. Sorry, baby again. Okay, let's see what we got here. So we got rotation. We slowed it down. Whew. We made a box. We changed the color of the box. We changed some lighting information. We still don't know. The one thing that I'm trying to do, which is get this to display. Okay, so this says API. I would expect this to tell me custom models. Okay, React, Fiber, custom, 3D model. I gotta go through my tweets here. See what that guy told us. What told me? Sphere. No, still not what I'm wondering. I don't care about any of this. Oh, wow. His sphere is way more circular than mine. Hang on a second. What did he do special? Orbit controls. No, that's something else. Directional light, ambient light, intensity. The intensity, you can change the intensity of the light? Interesting. I feel like I got more from this article, like just skimming it, than I did in the docs. Okay. They're going to appear, the colors, yeah, it's going to be less stark on this side. 75 is fine. All right, let's go back. I don't know how his sphere looks so good, though. Yeah, table. How'd you get this table to display? Wow, that's a lot of detail on there. Use loader. Aha. Guys, I think we found it. It loads textures. Okay. That's not the 3D model. Group. Okay, that's a group of meshes. Mesh Fong material. I'm assuming that's the stuff on the top. I don't really care about the texture right now. I just care about getting them. How? Attach material. Okay, this is very important. No, that attaches a material to a mesh. Okay, not important. Not important, I lied. Okay. What's a group? No? I really just want a 3D model to display. How did you get the freaking table loaded? Importing pre-made meshes. Yes, please. I want to take it a step further. Import a model from online. To accomplish this, we need to import new dependencies into our component. But don't worry, there will be no need of installing any new packages. Let's say we want to import this table that I already have rendered on the screen here. In order to import this table, we would first have to create a new function. In the scope of the new function, there should contain the texture overlays of the imported 3D. I don't care about the textures. I just care about the table. In addition, you will also notice invoking GLTF loader, which has an imported packages linked to I don't care about any of this. Use loader is not the key, okay? Because these are images. It even says IMG here. I'm assuming these are the textures. It makes a lot of sense if that's the case. GTF loader. GLTF loader. Table. Where did you define table? Where did you define table? I can't just import an OBJ file here. Where does this table come from? Okay, well, I need this. Okay, so in addition, you will also notice the invoking of GLTF loader, which was a imported, not an imported, package linked to three.js and allows for retrieving data from GLTF files. Okay, so I need an OBJ loader, something like that. Let's go back here. Let's go see if I can find this. These docs are awful. Where's the? I don't want to go through the source code. Oh, you know what it is. These docs are fantastic. Okay, the docs I need to are three.js. Aha. This is where I need it. Okay. OBJ loader. OBJ loader. Aha. Oh my god, it works. What's parallel? It's a simple data format. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I said a minute ago. It represents 3D geometry in a human readable format. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make it bigger for you guys. Okay, well, I really don't care about this. I just want to try something. I have to do this? What about the first one? OBJ loader. Oh, crap. This is not going to use that use loader thing. So I think I just passed this to use loader. Let's import use loader and try some stuff. Whoops. What am I doing? Okay. Use loader. Use loader. Right here. Right here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just a little all over the place right here. All right. So use loader. If I do a use loader here, I need to give it 1, this, and then 2, this giant string of text. And I haven't figured out how to get this string of text to work. And I don't know where this is coming from. Do I have to import it from 3? Import this from... No. This guy, in his article, had some access to 3. Let me see. He just put it in there like it's a constant that exists. Here he did 3.texture loader. Where did he get this? Which was imported, which was an imported package linked to three.js. That doesn't tell me anything. Give me your import statement. Give me your import statement. What a jerk. Doesn't give me his import statement. Okay, how about this? If I look up use loader, I bet we'll find some information. So let's go back to the docs. Okay, here. Use loader. Somebody's going to have it, right? 3.loader. I don't know. Can I just use this and not like pass in a load? I have no clue what this does. This hook loads assets and suspends for easier fallback and error handling. That's great. I don't care. Oh my god, I gotta use suspense. Can I not use suspense? Here's this GLTF loader again. And this is under 3 examples. Like, this is an example loader. What? Okay, so he's using use loader, passing this dealie in, then giving a URL to where it's located. And that's why you have to suspense it. My files aren't out in the cloud. They're like local. Oh, well, I could copy this mesh. Okay, let me copy this thing here. I don't know what an MTL file is. I bet that's important too. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to go to this folder here, and I'm going to go to public, and I'm going to add it here. So I have access to noteskit.obj, and then it should be, if we do this correctly, let's do one of these, noteskit.obj. It does. It exists. It downloads. Cool. Okay. So we don't need all that other stuff. Okay, so it's like that. Can you even do that in a URL? No, you just put the slash. Okay. I feel like I'm just going crazy here trying to remember stuff. But yeah, but where do I pull this from? Because theirs is obviously pulled from some kind of like examples file. Like, is 3 exporting it? Why doesn't even three.js tell me how to import this thing? Please explain to me where this loader comes from. I don't even know if I need the 2 or if I need the 1. Like, the descriptions are exactly the same. And why would you put a 2 in the file? I mean, just change it and have a different version deployed. What the heck is Object 3D? I want to know what parallel is. This sounds amazing. Okay, well, this is looking exactly like I was expecting. Yeah, but how do you import it? Oh, whoa. Look at this. Examples. JSX. Aha. Found some stuff. Import obj loader from. Okay, so this is most likely 3 slash, like, is this what this guy used here? 3/examples JSM loaders, and then he had the G. Yeah, this is good. I mean, the JS doesn't matter. Why? No default. Oh, of course not. Oh, okay, we're using parallel now, apparently. Fine. I hit the tab key. That's what it wanted. That's what I'll use. That's where I'm importing it anyway. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll find out. Parallel R is not defined. I like that my quote marks over here. Where's the R? Oh, I see what's going on. Keywords to learn more about such an error. No, I mean, it's saying it's not defined. It's like. Okay, here we go. Suspended while rendering. No fallback UI was specified. Stop! I don't want to use suspense. Just let me put the model in there and like always have it exist. Do I even need these things? Like, what do these do? What's this mesh thing? Okay, well, they're rendering asset. It's a primitive. See, they're using something called primitive. I still want my 3D model, though. I'm going to copy paste this. I'm going to call it 3D model 2. Because this is how they do naming in three.js. Or React 3 Fiber. This is completely acceptable to them that I name it this way. So I'm going to name it this way. 2. I'm doing it totally in spite of whatever. I'm doing it to spite them. I'm very upset. It's like, why can't you guys keep things consistent? Okay, let's just make it, like, let's make ours consistent. How about that? I need that one. So I do want it to rotate, so I'll leave that rotation there. Okay. And then this mesh has to go, and I have to use something called primitive. And then put my object in it. And then it says here .scene. I don't think I need that, but I guess I could... Wait, which GLTF? Is I'm doing an equal sign? Okay. Const obj equals there. I mean, the variable name doesn't matter to me, but this is... I don't know what any of this does. I don't know what .scene, how it works. I hope these loaders are exactly the same interface. Yeah, they're not. Actually, React 3 model. Yeah. This one is the one erroring. I think. Yeah. It's the second one that's erroring. Because if I get rid of the first one... Oh, I see. It's named here, but I haven't renamed the function here. Okay. I mean, that's just telling me the error was in the wrong component, but I need the fallback still. Okay, well, geez. Where's my suspense? So they're doing suspense around the outside of it. Like, this exists, and then there's a suspense, like, in your scene. You're using suspense here around it, and then you're putting... How about this? I'll use the cube. If it doesn't exist, otherwise I will use it. And then that way... Yeah. Oh, and they just take an asset URL, so I can just like give it random stuff. So I don't have to, let's say I don't hard code this in, then this becomes asset URL. I wonder if I can just create other objects this way. Asset URL, and that's going to want prop types, and hopefully it won't error, and it'll let me continue without the prop types temporarily, so I can just get this working. So this is a 3D model 2. Oh man. And then this is going to be that, but without the single quotes. I think this is good. I need to import suspense from React. Okay. I think that's okay. I mean, it's erroring. Above error occurred in 3D Model 2. At least that's correct. Uncaught was suspended while rendering. No fallback UI was specified. No. Oh. Oh. And it should. Okay, so it is refreshing. That's good to know. But I need the log to clear. Payload handler. Well, this is obviously not in my code. What's worker runner? Primitive. Can't set instance of undefined. I don't know. Did I not save it? Can I verify that this is working? Please don't error because I have a semicolon. Oh my god. Okay, so that's coming in correctly. We verified that I can download from this location just fine. In their example here, they just did it like we're doing it. Just like that. And, oh, we're using that parallel one. I wonder if that's an issue. Like, I don't know which of these OBJ loaders is the one we want to use. I have no clue. Okay. Mesh ref.current died. Oh, because we're not using our ref. Ooh, I wonder. I think we got it, guys. Actually, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, because there's no rotation or anything. What if I do this? Ref equals that. Same error. Okay. Well, the issue is this current thing. Because the ref is not defined the way I expect it to be defined. See, this time it did the 2 slashes. Let's get rid of all this for now. I mean, cannot read property rotation of null. Are you saying that this frame stuff in this component is causing the other component not to render correctly? Is that what's going on here? Can I like not break my code because of that? See, that one does it differently. I don't understand. There, now it doesn't rotate. Unexpected block statement surrounding arrow body. Maybe that's because I commented everything out. Can you just allow me to warn on this? I don't know why these things are erroring. That's the thing. Everything should be a warning. I'm just developing. I'm just messing with stuff. I don't want to error. I don't even know what the... Just give me a second. Very, very negative this time. Arrow body style. Okay, yeah. Literally just need to put warn. I'm just commenting stuff out. I just want to test things out. I don't want to like go through all this crap. Arrow body style. Warn. This is... You guys can't see it. It says arrow body style. I mean, the error is something else. Something else is clearly erroring. This is some weird ESLint rule that's coming up. Unexpected block statement surrounding arrow body. Yeah, I know what it is. Okay. Here, I'll leave the ref defined. I just won't use it. Then I won't complain. Okay, so primitive had an error. Cannot set instance of undefined. I don't know. Should I be using a different OBJ loader? I thought OBJs were the format. Maybe I have to go to GTF loader, GLTF versus OBJ file 3D. 2D. Okay, I need 3D. I have no clue where I'm going. GT blah blah imported as a whole scene. I have access to animations. When I import as OBJ, the model is imported as a mesh, and I can use it for player, but do not have access to animations. That's fine. I don't have animations. That's fine. I want the OBJ. That's fine. What is this, like scene? Is this the issue? Do I not do .scene? Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this. So OBJ loader, we'll use the original because I'm hoping this is like the one that works. Okay, it gets this scene.add. See? Scene. They're using scene again. So I'm really assuming it is obj.scene. You know, how about this? How about this? Log obj. There. And it really shouldn't be called obj. It should be called like 3D model. Like, or just model. I'm going to rename this to model. So I don't like the obj stuff. Please stop at the semicolon errors. It's a group? What the heck is a group? At least it loaded it. This is really cool. Scene? There should be a scene prop on here. Is in the prototype? I don't understand. I'm literally doing .scene. Does this not exist? Because that would make sure it says instance of it's undefined. Okay, but this whole model is a group. I don't know what the group is. What about these children? There's 2 children? Do I have to give it each mesh? Does each mesh have a scene? No? What is this? What's the different? Why are the loaders completely different? Materials library. Oh man, it's looking for this? I don't have this yet. I mean, I could add it to there. Okay, let's see. Which one was it? I really don't remember. I think it's this one. I'm going to add the material library just in case it needs to pull it in. It has it. But, like, it doesn't matter if it has materials, actually. Now that I think about it, I don't care about that. I'm pretty sure I have to give it this object, not the .scene thing. But, like, it has these two children, and I think I need to render each children as a primitive. I'm not sure. Like, why doesn't it do it for me, you know? I would expect it to know how to do this. So I'm going to get rid of the .scene and just, I guess, it's not airing this time, right? Or is it airing? Let's see. It's not airing anymore. So can I do the rotation speed now, or is that going to break it? I'm a little curious. Okay, it should be rotating at this point, which also means this 3D model here should not be airing. No, it's working. The scale is gigantic. Can we like scale this all down? Yeah. It's too scaled down. Let's just be a little bit sane here. Wait, why does it matter what the 3D model scaling is? Now that I think about it, none of that matters because this is the original 3D model, not the note skin model. I think I know where we are. We're inside the note arrow. The note itself needs to be scaled down, like significantly. So 3D Model 2, I could do the scaling, but I don't have a scale on primitive. I'm assuming I can scale on the primitive. I don't know what the default is. 100? Like, what is the default? Is this percentages? Let's try that. It should... Yeah, there we go. Oh my god. Why does it look like that? There's like a flat piece on top of it. I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Also, I don't know how old this model is. Because this could be the original. This could be the right one. This could be the wrong one. Oh my god. Okay. I really want the texture to work. Let's see if I can load the texture. I'm definitely not to like programming the game yet, right? Obviously, we're working on just getting some stuff to render. Okay. This looks nice. I want more lights because I can't see the textures, but so it is looking for a texture in the current file. I'm gonna load. Let's see. Go to public here. I'm gonna copy in that material that it's looking for, and then refresh. Wait, it's looking for it in public. That's the old note scan I had. Yeah, so it won't find it here. I will lowercase it here now, and I will go into the other file and then change where it's what the material it is that is looking at. Right here, and I'm gonna change it to the lowercase one and put a slash in front of it. See if that allows it to. That's so cool! It reloaded it automatically. That is amazing. It's obviously not working, so I don't know how this works, but I'm wondering if there's a milky. Come on, you guys said MS3D. No? Milky? No? Okay, it's probably under examples, under loaders. If I can delete this and then go down here to example loaders, there might be a loader for Milky somewhere else, like somebody's developed it. I don't know what 3DM loader. I'm really curious if I got that Milky thing installed now. Rhinoceros 3D? So that's what it is. So they have some other 3D thingy file renderers, but just give me a second. I'm going to look for it. So I have it installed, but I don't know. Like MTL, this looks familiar. He has a companion file to OBJ. Oh, wait, hang on. Material library format. That's the thing that I just uploaded. If I upload that, will that give the model access to that? Like I one of these. Like I do MTL loader. And then we put that in here. We load the material, and the asset URL is the same thing without the MTL. So like dot replace obj with MTL. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work. Material, and then I wonder if I could just like this is a I mean, materials, I have no clue what materials are in relation to 3D models. But I do have a material here. This is something. Yeah, see, loading manager. Okay, I've seen this. There's got to be some way to like attach it, right? So, primitive. What else does primitive take? Nodes and materials. Ah, materials use graph. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Convenience hook, which creates a memoized named object material collection for any 3D object. Okay, obj loader. Hey, what? Use graph. Put the scene in there. Oh, no way. They calling the whole thing a scene. I call it a model. I guess I could call it a scene. Because this is some nomenclature that I've never heard of before. Okay, so scene. And then I use graph on that, and I can get materials out of it. I don't know what nodes are. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm a little curious, but scene and use graph. It's just cool to have the OBJs defined there because I thought this was a generic format that other people knew about. And I was looking through it, and it seems like GTFL whatever is the format. Multiple requests in parallel. Texture loader. Well, I don't know what texture loader is. I do have textures as well. I don't know what materials are versus textures. And if I look in the material file, the original one, it does like, what's mapkd and like who wrote this and why is it C01 and black? Okay, I'm not obviously going to be able to render those. And they don't exist. Like in this directory that I'm in right now, they're not here. So I wonder, common, where did I put my skins? Okay, so I found some stuff here where I actually programmed in the node skins. You're not seeing anything right now. I don't know what this material is. I don't know how it loads. I don't know what it's supposed to load. I have no clue how any of this works right now. I'm looking for, I see a black.png. I have that. So I can modify let's modify these for in this particular directory where I have them to see if we can get them to load. I'm really curious now. So this one is going to be, I still don't know about this yet, but this one I can definitely do /black.png. And I'll just pop that black PNG in here. No, in here. Okay, and then the other one's C01. Not really sure. C-01. Maybe it was I used a single texture in the 3D modeling software to see what it was looking like, but there's no C01. Like, that's not a thing. So this must be a really old model. And I don't know how to give it any kind of texture. Like, the black makes sense. If the black works, the black works. Let's at least see if this would work. I want to see what this materials thing is. Object 3.object 3D. You know, so I don't know what this is, but it says convenience hook. Which, I mean, this looks like how I would use it. See here, they're using mesh, and they're using .metal. You know, it's like where are they getting this material? Well, let's play around with it at least. I'm gonna rename my model to scene because somebody thinks that. No, I'm just gonna name it model. Why change it as we have it right now? I know what this is, but I'm trying to get this material on the model. I thought you're supposed to do something like this. I need a fragment, don't I? Fragment. I refuse to write my code with this. One, it doesn't. Oh, it's syntax highlighting correctly now. Is it? Well, no, it still doesn't. Okay. The other reason I don't like it is because this looks like an error in the code, and even GitHub and other places show it like an error. It's not valid XML, so I don't like it. Not just because it's not valid. I just think it makes it harder to understand. So this is materials. This is material, which is fine. Can't read geometry of undefined. Robot? What the heck is robot? What's nodes? What's materials? I don't know. Materials is... These are correct. Okay. And then nodes is like components or something. But there's, see, notice it's border and color. They must have added some stuff to theirs. So I have to do border dot geometry. And then I'll add another mesh for the color dot geometry. And then this one's materials. They put dot metal, right? But on my materials, I don't have a dot metal. I have dot border and dot color. So I'm not quite sure what this is doing, but I do want something to show up. It's just a cube, and then it loads my stuff in. Okay. Did I break it? Am I not supposed to have this many meshes in one fragment? Like I'm pretty sure I can put as many as I want. Let's get rid of the primitive here. Oh. Does it just not refresh correctly? I wish I could click and drag it. I actually want this to rotate faster now because I can't tell what's going on. So it doesn't like having two meshes together. So I'm going to get rid of one of these. Something's wrong with this color mesh. Okay, well, that's helping somewhat. As soon as I remove it, this shows up. I mean, this is definitely the 3D model now. It's looking correct, but I don't know if it's this material thing that's doing it or what. I don't think it makes a difference. Stop commenting incorrectly. No. So I wonder if I can like add a material to... It said it, you know, MTLs are companion files for objects. Do I just like put it in? Do I take this and literally just put it into my object right here? See, this is MTL lib, right? I wonder if I can just pop this in there or something. What is KD? I mean, KS and all this crap. I don't know. I have no clue. I just want some colors. I want some colors. Okay, what if I do mesh standard material? What if I do one of these? And what if I do that on this mesh as well? This can be hot pink. No? If I get rid of this, what happens? I don't know what this shows. This one here. This graph thing. No rotation because this ref's not used. Ref mesh ref. I think there's a way to get a whole group of them to rotate. I need a group component or something. Yeah, see the border. This one works too. I don't need the primitive necessarily. Is it rotating? I don't think so. Yeah, it's not moving at all. That's interesting. So this mesh, I assigned a ref to it, and it's not rotating. Huh. And also notice that the scale was on the primitive, but it is not on this one. Let me refresh this again. Okay, there. No. Yep, I need a group. Let's figure out the group object or something. Before we go any further, I need to figure out how to do a group. Group? It's just called group. What does this do? Please explain to me group. I want to understand. Is this one? Group. Is this all one file? It's just a table of contents? Groups. No. I'm going to use a group component and put some props on it and hope that this does not break. Okay, scale equals scale, and ref is the mesh ref. How about that? Please say this works. Yep, okay. So that was it. Okay, so this is the border. Yeah, the color's not working, but the border is. Okay, so I want to get this color to work. What if I gave it a mesh material and made it hot pink or orange? I mean, just get something to show. It's a really old model. Oh my god, it does work. So I think the primitive is messing with it. Wait, what? So I can color them separately. So what's this MTL loader crap? Because it had assets on it, and there was like images and textures you could load on it. But now that I have the bones, I think they're called bones, and here they're called nodes. And the other place they're called bones. Now that I have the bones of it, I can like texture it however I want. So I actually have the real like 3D model legit with this use graph thing. So I don't need the MTL. I don't think it does any kind of animation or anything. Honestly, I don't know how they animate in the game. There's like it loads a texture on it, and then it like uses a sprite to go through the texture. Like I'm not sure. I'm not thinking I should mess with this. I'm fine with what I have actually, because I can use texture to put images on it if I needed to. I do think this is really cool. Let's see, hot pink. Got that hot pink and orange. Okay, so if I save this, it shouldn't break this time. Yeah, okay. Let's get rid of some of the stuff I'm not using. Very happy with this. Still complaining about this not being in prop types, though. And it is required. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Okay, we're going to rename this to Pulsen arrow. Pulsen original node skin arrow. This is the Pulsen original arrow. That's what it is. Because there's a new one now and it looks different. We got to rename to that and then go into scene and then blah, blah, blah. And this is more like the placeholder. Cool. That is awesome. So I really don't want it to rotate necessarily. Obviously, we're not there yet, but I got that to show up now. And now I want it to rotate slower because I don't need it to rotate that fast. And then the scale is oh, this is the wrong model. The scale is, scale is still too big. I thought I tried this already and it didn't look good. Man, that's slow. That was the speed we had. There we go. Can I like add to the Z too? But if I add to the Z, I feel like it'll just keep getting smaller. Can I even mess with the Z? Does the Z not have rotation? I have no clue if this is any different than it was before. I really don't know. What if we do this? This is gonna do it every frame. Okay. I don't want it every frame. And they're mutating it. I see why they're mutating it. Is because we don't even know what's happening behind the scenes. But I do want to. They're mutating it because otherwise it would be a really big performance problem because the component would be re-rendering every time this thing rotates. And so they've decoupled the rotation from the component rendering. Semicolon. Oh my god. And it's not going to work anyway because mesh ref.current doesn't have anything on the first iteration of it, so you need to use question mark dot here. There we go. Oh, of course. I just said they're mutating it so that it doesn't re-render the component. Therefore, I need to set timeout. And because it's making an API call, I actually need to wait a few seconds. Because I don't think a set timeout by itself will work. Thank you. Euler. That crap again. It does have a z value. Okay, so if I modify the z value here, does that actually do anything? It does. What if I set the z value to like 0.5? No change. But it is set to 0.5. So I don't really understand the z value. It's supposed to be how close and far it is. I think I'll leave it here just to make it more interesting. If it rotates more interesting that way. I don't know. I don't think it does anything. Honestly, I'm going to remove it. It doesn't do anything. All right. Maybe it doesn't have z-axis stuff enabled. There's usually something you have to enable to get that to work in Pulsen. Okay, so the border and the color works, and I now have control over the 3D model. And so the real question is, can I size it correctly and then get it to, like move up and down and all that stuff with music? I'm definitely not going to be able to get that working in this time frame. I would like to get like sprite animations working on here. I don't know how though. I thought they had to use texture. Color management is true. Texture. It's definitely not in that file. This guy used it. 3.texture loader. Use loader, and he used the texture loader from 3. Probably imported 3 from 3. Texture loader. What's a data texture? I wish this had pictures. What's an RGBE loader? That was RGBA. Like, what's RGBE? Encoding? RGB encoding loader? I don't understand. I don't care. Okay. So let's go back to this. This one has some code pieces. Texture loader, yeah, you're loading this texture and you're putting it on there. Mesh basic material. Immediately use the texture for material creation. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I mean, this React 3 Fiber is significantly better than using three.js directly. It is way simpler. I mean, this was nice. This is even simpler than what I do in Pulsen. I'm trying to see, like, what do I do to make a node scan show up on the screen? Because I do have components in the game. I'm trying to see what they look like, though. Where's the up arrow? Is it the down arrow? Like, which one is my main arrow? Is this what it looks like? It's like animation stuff. Oh, it uses 4PF generic. Okay, I see. Here, I should define somewhere an arrow, either an up or down. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, it's down. I think it's down. But I don't see the down arrow. Common. It does not use common. I know that for sure. So this is like a metrics file that describes how it works. It's like options, but I'm trying to figure out where the down. I'm seeing a couple down arrows here, but I'm not seeing the one that is they call it down tap arrow or whatever. There's like explosions and lifts and mines and holds and all that. So maybe it isn't common. Did I create a common folder? Is it just referencing the common directory? Because how would it know what to render? Okay, hang on. This might be like special businessy things. Let me see. Noteskin.lua. Okay, well I'm not sure exactly how this works, but I don't think I wrote this code. I'm pretty sure I didn't modify this either, but I'm not 100% sure. So here it is. Get path. Button to load. So this is like maybe up, down, left, right, and then the element, which is the Noteskin model. And it puts that in the actor, and then it rotates it based on the rotation value. But that's not then button to load. I definitely didn't write this. I don't use Hungarian. Ugh. I don't use one-letter variable names. Load. Well, I do. I used T where I had it, but I don't think I used one-letter variable names anywhere else. This is the only required function. Okay. I have no clue. Like, where's it loading the sprites and all that, and how? I swear I've written custom code to get these things to work. I just don't know where it is. It's been so long, I don't know where to find any of this. Where's my good stuff? Here's one. Ah, I got one here. Here we go. Okay, this is like a component here. You define a model. You define meshes on it, materials, bones, see? And then FOV and your draw by Z position. You had to enable this separately. So I remember all this stuff. Okay. So, like, maybe it's the materials. So the mesh, maybe it's the materials that have the animation and stuff. So if I look for down tap note materials, faces.png, and then faces looks like that. So this is one of the ones I had. Okay, so it's a sprite, obviously. How does it know to cut this out correctly? I'm really wondering about that. Yeah, so he has all these color things. I think I commissioned this from somebody. I don't think I did this myself. This is well, I can guarantee I didn't do this myself. I commissioned this from somebody, and then because I created the model, and then somebody modified the model and put that stuff on there. I can't remember exactly who it was though. If I look at the meshes, yeah, it has faces here, and then it's going to break them up. If I look at this correctly, it's going to break up those based on. There's a 159. Man, I have no clue what this is doing. 202. Huh. Yeah. Not sure. Not sure. Not sure. But this one definitely has something here. It says materials, right? And bones. I think the bones doesn't have anything. Yeah, there's no bones. Bones equals 0. So I'm still not sure how it knows. Okay, it's this. This is one of the files I built. Down here means it's using the down arrow for everything. Oh my god. This is code I modified because I didn't write that for sure or that, but I've modified around it. This is the same code we saw before, but there's a little bit more stuff in here because it's slightly different. Okay, here's my rotations, and then these are the other extra ones. So I still don't understand. Is maybe in 4PS shapes? I'm not understanding where how it maps the texture to the mesh. Maybe that's it just in the model and how it does that. But then how's it animated? Because it looks like, if you look at this, these things over on the right side are for animations. Either that or for like they're around it. Like they're the texture for the piece around it. It's using like this portion of the image or the sprite or whatever, however you want to classify this thing. I am not sure, but there's like all these things on the right are very important. I just don't know how. I don't remember what these look like in the game because they've changed so many times. I remember what they used to look like when I first built them, but clearly these look different. So when I load a texture, like I have to know how to place something in there. You know, the thing is, like these are just rendering the stuff in there, right? The materials.color and materials.border. But there, in this materials.border, there's something in here that maybe defines how the image actually renders in the screen. So if we log that again, let's log border doesn't have anything on it, but I know the color did. So we do nodes.color, and we'll also log materials.color. And then we'll figure out, like, based on that information that we just logged. It's a Fong material. Okay, I saw that before. Mesh Fong material. I'm wondering if it shows us the texture it's supposed to use. But if it does have a texture, it would display the texture, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure, actually. What if we brought in a texture and just put it on it and see what happens? Because I know there are textures for these. Like I can use one of those load textures, use loader texture, whatever. But there's also, see, mesh standard material. I wonder if there's, some way to load a texture on this. I should not have removed that guy's article. It was still useful. I want to figure out how you loaded his textures. Mesh standard material, attach material. Okay. Color white, transparent, opacity. I don't really know. I don't understand this. But here he's creating these textures, and he's putting them on mesh Fong materials directly, and then saying attach material. Every single one says attach material. Map texture 1, map texture 2. So it has 3 map properties on here, which in React I would expect each one of these to override the other one. This actually doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe they've got some like custom loader here on this. Oh, I'm so lost. How are they putting 3 textures on top of each other when the props come into your component? Okay, let me explain something here. When the like a map prop comes in here, there's no way to get an array of these out of it. But they must have something that every time you define it here, it like puts it in an array, and then this map is actually, some array of all the maps that you passed in. How do they do that though? That I don't know. I can't even I can't understand or fathom how that works at all. So these mesh Fong materials are inside of the mesh itself. So right now we're using standard material, but if we use a Fong material, we can attach a texture to it. It looks like. I'm not sure. I can't really tell what this is. This table looks pretty weird, but that's my guess. Visible geometry? What's visible? We got the geometry, but what's visible? Like, wouldn't it always be visible? Ref group position, whatever. So this is mesh ref. This should be group ref. Okay, that's fine. Bam. Let's keep looking at this here. So we looked at the Fong material. I want to look at the mesh itself. So this should have materials. Yeah, see, it has a mesh Fong material as well. I almost wonder if I don't need to put this in here. So if I don't put this in here, it'll use whatever's in here. But it doesn't know where the mesh is, like where to go find it on the web. Oh, hey, it has a metal. Whoa. Well, this one does, at least. I don't know what metal is. There's a lot of 3D terms with these things that I have no clue. I didn't know when I was making the game either. I mean, I designed the original shape of this, but somebody else modeled it. I had to commission that. I couldn't figure that out. I could just use These 2D images. I have 2D images of all of these. All the node skins and everything. There are 2D versions of every single one of them, just in case somebody's machine couldn't run the 3D. Because at the time, that was actually a thing. Like your machine wouldn't be able to run it. These days, I think everything can run 3D. But if you're on an old arcade machine or something like that, you're running on an extreme machine or something like that, 2D might be the only way to get it working. I'm not seeing the materials in here. So I really do think that there are no materials as part of this. You really do have to define them in the mesh yourself. Or like here. Yeah, you have to define them like this. So if I define this material here, like what is the benefit of putting this orange there? Fine, I'll just comment it out. Is that going to error now? Cannot read property visible of null. Can I... What does this do? So it went back to that white color. See? I don't know what causes it to do that. What's in here that causes it to do that? It must be trying to load an image and it can't find the image. And so this white color or this gray color is the default that it would use. Because it has to give it some kind of color. Otherwise it'd be transparent. Yeah, see this RGB here. This is like almost white. It's slightly off white. So I think, like, I don't know. These look exactly the same, these two objects. This one has color and it's just 1111. That's white. So if it is a white, it's white. If the specular mapping is, I have no clue. I don't know how the game is working. I don't know how any of this is working. Did I program this? Shading. This is how all this works? Man, I'm lost. Somebody's probably looking at this like, duh, it means this thing. Don't you know? It's like, no, I don't. I absolutely have no clue. So I got to figure out other materials that I can add to it. So if you get rid of the standard material, you need to make this visible, which is probably why it sets it to white, because otherwise, like I said, it would be transparent. But I wonder if I can put some other fun materials on it instead of this standard material. So we have to go in here and see what components it has. See, this is when you can make it transparent. I wonder what that does. Well, not transient, transparent. Is that right? Transparent. No, it's not transparent. So you can assign a color, but it's not. Why did that example have transparent on it? That's awfully confusing. Rotation. Oh, hey, you could do it based on pi. That is really cool. And why am I doing the rotation myself when you could just do it here? Oh, because this is a fixed rotation. I see. Okay. User data. What? Okay, I'm going to add visible to all these. It wasn't there before, but I'm just doing it on just in case. Because it looks like they have it in their examples. I don't think I need it if I'm going to put a mesh on it, but they're doing it and they have a mesh. And some kind of sphere geometry. Like, what the heck is that? Okay, well, these are the colors you can use. Great. I am not seeing render pass. Oh, cool. You can do effects on it. That is so cool. Yeah, it's not useful right now. I'm not like trying to take a picture of something. So with these meshes here, I think each one could be clickable separately. So like this one piece here and this piece on the outside. And so I could hover over them and have them change color. And that would be a little bit more dynamic and probably look a lot cooler. But that's not really what I want right now. And I wonder if like in a 3D model, I could divide this up even more into different pieces. I think this is what that guy did with that shoe example he sent me. Is he just took the mesh and he made the mesh clickable. I only have 2 meshes. I'm surprised they even have that. Size. Well, this will just crash. Oh. Oh, because you have to put it in your canvas, right? Yeah, you have to put it in your. I explained this earlier. Okay, it's because they're not giving you a way to make their hooks work outside of the context. They could do that, but they don't do that. It's a lot more complex to code it. Kind of, you know. I think the complexity comes from like namespace conflicts. Mesh basic. Aha. Here we go. Mesh material. Oh, this is another mesh. So you could just put a material on a mesh. Use resource. It gives you a material. Where does the resource come from? I'm not sure. All I didn't want to do is put a texture on this, but I need to know. I don't understand how to take the texture I have. Oh, I saw a GIF. Oh, it's GLTF. This crap again. I don't understand how to take that image and put it here. Because I have the circle one, right? Like, if we do the circle one, I think that would be more fun. If I got the mesh, this thing, let's do this here. So where we have this in here, node skin, well, the thing is, this is the meshes and stuff, but this is for the game engine. This is not the OBJ stuff. I mean, I don't know what this is. If I can get access to the OBJ, that's what we want. Shapes. Here it is. Do I have an OBJ? No, I have a bunch of 3ds files and MS3D. Is there like a 3ds? I don't know what 3ds is. 3ds. No, it's texture. So this is texture is like the only one. Texture loader is, I think, what I have to use. But so I have to export these to object. I guess the only reason I have one of them as an object is because I do. It's like, but I don't have an image to put on it. I need a texture. There was a texture at some point. Somebody at some point had a texture on this thing. It was definitely me, but when and why and how did I get the texture and what does it look like and where was I pulling it from? And lots of questions. A lot of PSDs here. I don't have Photoshop installed anymore. Oh, man. You know, I had 3D. Somebody gave me other 3D images too that I could use to just try it out. I think the real thing is I don't have a texture to put on this, and this is the only one that I have in OBJ format. I have to go install Milky and do some more stuff to get the other things to work. I'm going to go see one more time if I can get a texture to put on this. This is called gray.png. This is called red.png. Man. Okay, then. I think this is a limitation of the engine I was working with. There's got to be more images in here. I mean, this is boring for you guys, not seeing anything happening. Here, you can see that again. Yeah, here. I see them. Okay. Okay, so I should have a texture now. Yes, there's a text folder. Okay. Yes, I've got something. I've got a texture. Cool. I'm going to add it in, and then I'm going to surprise everybody with what that ends up looking like. If anybody watches this video, I'm going to be super surprised. Okay, so we're going to say node skin. There, node skin.png. They're all named exactly the same. So to get a texture, what this guy did was use 3. So I'm assuming he did import 3 from 3. I'm really expecting this to be the case. Okay. And then he's going to do a use loader on with 3.textureLoader, and then is going to be the asset URL, but replace whatever with PNG. OBJ. PNG. I think that's what it is. And I'm back. It didn't look like I left for anybody else, but I'm definitely back. Okay, texture. Let's do that. And then it's a mesh Fong material. I gotta put this stuff in here. I don't think it's gonna let me have two of these. Mesh Fong material. What is a Fong? Can somebody explain that to me? Attach material. Color. Okay. Let's just do orange like we had before. I don't know what this means though. Map texture. Okay. Import 3 does not contain default export. Well, does it contain a default export like this? Because why is it all caps? Please tell me how you imported this. It's not from examples JSM. I guarantee it. It's from loaders texture load. Okay, we're gonna do one of these guys. I think this will work. Can I import it directly? Well, then I can't use 3 dot. I really don't think this is gonna work. I have no clue. Like why? This is source loaders. The other one had like examples and stuff. I don't know. Is it this? I don't think so. It's not an example loader. No. Oh my god. This is the worst library. They're like, hey, we're using 3 in all caps, guys. This is a new thing. 3 in all caps. I'm not explaining to you how to import that. Please explain to me how you used to, you got a texture on there. There's definitely a texture in here. Where's the give me the code. Import star as 3? 3 module, whatever. Maybe that's it. Star as 3. I really don't like that it's caps. I'm actually very upset that it's caps. 3 dot texture loader. Oh my god. Oh, what? Yes. Okay, so number one, I put this on the wrong one because the border does not have a texture. But number 2, it actually seems to be working. Stop, can't read visible and null. Oh my god. And it's even the right border color. The border's actually supposed to be black, like a grayish black. Can I do like gray or dark gray? Is that a thing? Do you guys like with the A? I don't know if it's European or not. This actually looks kind of cool. The white. I've actually never seen it like that. Gray. How about that? No, yeah, it does work with gray. Okay. I'll leave it like that. Okay. So the border should be, it's more like a black though. He's black. It used black.png. Ooh. It's looking a little bit nicer. I wish there was some color to the black. Okay, 3D colors. No, that's definitely not going to come up with what I expect. Color. Docs. Colors. Whoa, you guys take stuff like this? What? Okay. RGB 0.09. No, 1 is black, right? I'm pretty sure 1 is black because it's all of the color together. I have no clue. It's still black, so it's definitely doing something. I like the little shininess on it. That's neat. I don't think Pulsen has point lights. Still not right? Oh, unknown color material. No. It's defined here that you can do that. Oh, do I have to call 3.color? and then pass this in as a function, and then put it in here. I'm pretty sure it's calling 3.color on whatever I pass in. Right? Like, how would it work otherwise? See, red. It can be a CSS style, for example, like RGB. Oh, look. Oh. Oh. There's no decimal. Oh, it's 0 to 255. Ah, it's 119. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I need to get closer to 250. Whatever, 240 maybe? I don't know what I used. I don't know how it renders in the game. 240 is too bright. Okay, so we want to go the other direction. We want the absence of light now. All of them together makes white. I don't know what I was thinking earlier. We're almost there. I think 40 will do it. So now we've got a texture. Now the thing is, how do we animate the texture, right? So here's what I'm going to try. I have multiple textures. Okay, I'm gonna pull both of these textures. It's named node skin or whatever. I'm gonna change that to be this is 9, so it'll be node skin -9, and then this will be node skin -01, and then we're gonna go in here and then change what we're looking at. So here it's replacing it with 01-png, and then this one is going to be texture 2. Actually, this is texture 9. This is texture 1. And the only reason I'm picking 9 and 1 is because there's a significant difference between them. And so I can like visually see if it's working correctly. So that used 2 maps last time. So that guy used 2, which doesn't make sense, but I wonder. No duplicate props. Well, apparently I can do duplicate props because that guy did it in his example. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure it actually didn't work the way you expect, but it looked like it did. ESLint disable next line duplicate props. This is using just this one. So that guy's code just sucks. I mean, this is doing what I expected. Can I do like multiple of these materials? I'm assuming I can do multiple. Now, how do I switch between them? That's the real question I have. Is can I turn these on and off on a timer? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a use state. Yeah, I wonder if this is going to work the way I want it to, though. Use state. And we're going to need a use effect. No, we can do use frame for every frame. Yeah. There's no other way to do this. I have to do the use frame. But if I do this on every frame, it will... I think it's going to be awful frame rate. Okay, we're really going to test this, but I think the whole thing is going to freeze up and die. You're supposed to mutate if you're doing this stuff. The visibility. Oh. So if I need to mutate this, I need a ref for each one of these, okay? So what if we created a ref and it was called texture 1 ref, right? And texture 9 ref. Am I spelling texture right? Texture. I don't know, it looks weird. Okay, so we have to create these refs, but I'm assuming that if I do this, then on every frame I can mutate them directly. Current, but I don't know what to do yet with them. I need to figure out what they are. What is the texture, and can I mutate the texture itself? Because if I can, I can. What I'm thinking is actually, because it's not a texture, right? It's the Fung material or whatever. But I'm assuming that with the texture, what I can do is actually have all textures loaded at once, and then change the visibility of them based on whatever's in here. I don't know what I'm logging. I don't want these anymore. I want just the texture. This one. Yes, let's log it in the frame. That's not going to cause a problem. I have to be quick here. I think it's visibility. Visible. Yep. Okay, that's it. That increased frame rate. Okay. And then dot visible equals this. Not that dot visible. And then this other one, I'm going to swap between these two really quickly every frame, which is going to look really weird and flashy. If you like have seizures and stuff, I guess don't look at this video. This is equal to not that value, and this is equal to not that value. I don't know if this is actually working. Visible is going to, because it needs React to re-render it. I really think a use state is the way to do this. And I'm changing it every frame. Okay, let's see. Number 9 is showing right now. So I need to basically set number 9 to be false. And then this one, number 1, I want it to be set to true. So we should see number 1. Aha. So you can change this. That's interesting. But I set the visibility of number 1 to true. See, it's not showing. Which makes me wonder if I need multiple meshes or you can only have one Phong per mesh. The ref is on the Phong. It's not on... Okay, number 1 is showing now. That's correct. What if I get rid of this? Number 9 should be showing. Okay, number 9 is showing when I refresh. I really do think that this visibility thing doesn't work right unless you're like turning on and off elements. Both of these meshes are set to visible. You see what I'm saying? I'm just going to get rid of all that. If I can change the visible prop, I think that's better than like changing the mesh itself and the visibility of the mesh, which is what I was trying to do, right? Maybe I put the ref on the I see the mesh with the Phong. What if I put the... No. What if I put the ref on the mesh and then change the visibility, if that's going to actually make it work the way you expect? See, now I'm getting the first one. So if I do this and swap them... This should be flipping between them very quickly. Like very quickly. Like so fast that it's every frame, right? 100 times a second with my refresh rate. It's not. So let's see. We're saying this is equal to not that one. And that one is equal to not this one. I don't know. It's like too fast. I need more textures. I'm gonna pull all these in and rename them all. Okay, they're not getting named with node skin. I'll worry about that later. Oh, the asset URL is different now. Okay, we're gonna have to loop him. But you can't loop because we got use loader. Oh, that's junk. Okay. 01.png. I have to create a separate component for each texture. And have it accept a URL. I don't want to deal with it. Okay, I can't even use the alt key. Wow, this is awful. This is the worst. Somebody has to watch me do this now on YouTube, or, well, wherever I end up uploading this. There are more than 9. I uploaded 16 images. I am done at this point, so I'm just gonna do one of these. Okay, so we've still got the 2 materials here, but I don't know how to do this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We will use state. Every frame we will swap it to a new image. Okay. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Change texture. No, hang on. It's gonna be called current texture. You cannot use hooks. I need multiple components. I need access to these textures here, right? No, I just need it in here. That's fine. I'm gonna assign multiple meshes to a single one and see if I can do anything with these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like the most annoying thing. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's definitely annoying for me though. Whoa, don't do that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to do this with refs. But for now, I'm gonna try it without refs and see if I can get by. Because I know the refs are working. I mean, they're doing something. I just don't know if you can change it after the component's loaded. It set current texture and then equals use state. And it'll be texture 1, right? I mean, you need something visible. I guess you don't need anything visible, the first one. And how am I going to know which one's which? Oh, God, I got to do this by hand. Oh, this is awful. I just want it to work. If current texture is equal to 1, then this. Okay, we're going to have to do this as a whole. I'm not going to do this one by one. Start with each of these, I think. I don't know how we're going to update the current texture. I'm not there yet. I'm just going to add one to it, I guess, and cap it at 9. Mod 9, we should do it. And then enter. There we go. Now they're all spaced. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mess that up. Okay, so we've got all those rendered. You should see number 9 here now. Only number 9. Wow. Wow. Well, it's not been set, so that's correct. This is actually correct. Okay, and then we need to, every frame, going to cause React to reload and re-render, and I think this is going to cause major performance problems. Whoa, do I have 2 use frames? That's weird. I guess I could have 2. I mean, I don't need them to be the same. One's doing the rotation, the other is doing set current texture is equal to. So I'm not going to add like a second arg, and I don't know how this works. I don't know like what it's expecting and whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the like here current texture, but I have to say local current texture because it's going to complain that I'm using a variable that's already been defined. So it's going to be this plus 1, but then I have to mod the whole thing by 9. And then I'm going to add 1 to that because I need to go back. Okay, so this should have already taken effect. This should be happening every frame. If we looked at the React thing and we highlighted updates, it should be like updating this consistently. So it's not swapping it, but I could swap the texture. Maybe I only have one material and I just change the texture every time. I mean, wouldn't that be smarter than swapping out the whole component? Great. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Let's copy all these. And put the textures in an array, which will be regenerating every single time. Oh, we need to use memo. Because this component is going to reload a lot. Okay. I just wanted to do something simple with textures. I don't know how I got to do all this. I bet you this is already in there. And it's already got something that's going to allow for this. I just don't know what it is yet. Okay, so I don't need that. If it's going to be indexed, I just put the texture Oh, no. Hey, I need that. Yeah. I need 1. And I guess I can, like, it doesn't matter, right? Because it's based on the index in this array. So here's my texture array. You know what's interesting is even if I created this every time, I am creating the second arg every time, which is also an array of every texture. And then it's going to check to see if any of the textures have changed. If they don't, it won't remake this array, which is already remaking every single time. That is junk. Okay. Well, let's just remake it every time then. It might complain in the logs or whatever. Okay, so texture array. And then basically this is now mapping to current texture index. I sure hope this works. I don't know. Current texture index. There's a lot of things that I'm having to make assumptions because I don't feel like it's in the docs. I mean, I didn't see it in the docs. I shouldn't say I don't feel like it because I didn't just feel it. I looked and I didn't see it. Okay, can we change that to index down here somewhere? I already did it. Okay. I mean, I guarantee you I'm re-rendering this. Unless you can only have 1 use frame per component. Okay, can I like... Can somebody explain to me how this works? No, it's rotating. You can have 2 use frames. Yeah. Use memo was defined but never used. I know that. I got rid of it. It's not updating it. If I look at this, Fong, the map is undefined, see? Because the first time it loads, it's undefined, and then it like never gets defined. So this actually has to be defaulted to 0. And then I have to get rid of the +1 because there's no index 10 anymore. So that. And this makes my math simpler. I don't need those parentheses. Oops. This should really be the total number of textures in the array, and I don't know. For now, it's fine. Oh my god. Yes. Okay, so I think it's four frames per. Okay, 4 frames per. So I would need to know what frame we're on. Does this give you anything? I want to know what frame we're on. Yeah, you get some information here. Frame 18. Frames 18. Okay. Can I see what frame we're on? Like, out of a loop of frames aspect? This is going to kill my console here in a second. I'm trying to be quick. I'm going to take a picture of it. I can't log this. It's going to be a problem. It's way too fast. I need to delay it, but I don't know a good way of delaying it. It's per frame, right? There's no... Are there other args you can pass into this? Use frame. Use frame.
There's smoke in the kitchen. The alarm may sound.
Controls.current.update. Interesting. Well, that's something else. Use frame. Use frame. Please tell me what else I can pass into use frame. Callback and then render priority. I have no clue what that is. I have an assumption. It means like this thing has to render before these other things. State and delta? I don't know. What? State delta? Like what the heck are these? The delta is the time difference between the last frame. So we're going about 100 frames a second. That's how you know, because it's 0.01 is about 100 frames a second. Okay, well, I don't need that number. I don't need any of this right now. Okay, let me look at this image that I took. Hang on a second. Okay. Let me look at this image I took. So one of these has got to have, like, how you can limit the amount of frames. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. So since we don't know how many frames there are, we can essentially space these out so that if we want them to be every fourth frame, we have to add, instead of 0.1, we add 0.025. Okay, and then when we're using it over here, it's going to be pointed at something that's a decimal, so we need to do math.floor. Now you got oh my god, it works. And in that metrics file that I saw earlier, I think this is what it was. So we've got something. Now this note, you're saying like, oh, how many frames is it supposed to be? Yeah, so here's the thing is that this is based on the frame rate. I need it based on the beat of the music. And the beat of the music has something called BPM, which is beats per minute. And so I need to know based on the beats per minute. Also, we're missing frames. I can see that because it goes in like chung chung chung. You know, we're actually missing the other 16 or whatever. I really do wonder if I can put this in an array and if it's gonna break, because I don't redefine them and they're not conditional. I'm just gonna do it like this for now, but I really do think I can kind of cheat this, like put all these use loader into an array. There are other ways to do this without having to find every frame individually like this. I just don't know the way to do it yet. I mean, this is probably not fun to watch me, like, one by one, go through literally every frame and define what it is. There should be 16 images, so... And that should make this look smoother. It's actually easier to do this than to retype it. Okay. It's interesting, the different colors. And then I need, yeah, this should already be, it should take effect as soon as I do it. No, it's not. Maybe it is. I feel like I'm missing frames. I put 9 somewhere. Yeah, right here. This should be 16. Hello, come back. Thank you. Yeah, now it's way smoother. There we go. This is good. I don't like to look at the bottom. I just want this in the front. Yeah. Let's stop the... One of the rotations is causing this. That's... Can I mod on this so that it doesn't go all the way around or something? I want it to go and then come back. I think this is fine. It's better than before where you're just sitting there looking at the bottom the whole time. Better than it's spinning. Maybe I want it to spin. Maybe we just do a little spin here. But if I'm not modifying Y, this is not going to work. You have to do something like this. Oh. Z-axis spins it. Oh, I remember now. Okay. There we go. This is what I want. Cool. It's like a game. Yeah, that's really smooth. But the new note skins are even smoother. I think they had 32. No, there's probably 64 frames a second. This is only 16, you know? And obviously it looks really low res. It's not meant to be scaled up this high. This is nice. I got something. Very happy with this. I mean, okay, not very happy, but somewhat happy with it. So this is how you do it, is you do use state and then you change the map. I bet you I could do this in use frame and change it in there without having to do all this stuff. I want to define what these textures are somewhere else. I don't like how any of this works. I can't imagine this being performant. It seems to be working, but I don't know. Something in my head's saying like there's no way. Yeah, I like that. I wish this was also 3D, but obviously that's not going to be performant. That's going to kill your GPU. There's no way. The fluid animations and all this stuff. I don't have the physics rendering engine. I mean, this looks okay. Even with the flat texture, it looks nice. But even if at least this piece on the top was textured, that would be even nicer. Hmm. Okay, so I need to like be able to create a thing like this that does the face and textures it based on a color, and then you have to send it what the color is, and maybe it's a directory or something that it goes to when it's pulling the textures in. And right now it has to hard code all the textures. There's got to be a way to do this dynamically. So when you do use a loader and you're loading a texture, if I had them all in a sprite, I could change where I'm looking at in the sprite using I want to say the word mesh, but I don't think that's the right word. Maybe it is. Mask. Using a mask or pointing at a specific part of the texture itself. I bet you that the texture has information about how large it is, and you can divide that up using math, and then you can like say I want this section of a texture. So when you go down here and you're mapping it to not just the texture but a portion of the texture. I bet there's a way to do that. And if I did that, then this would be better. I wonder if my new ones are like that, or if they're like 20 billion files. Let me see. So where's the new ones? I have no clue what they're called. It's been so long. So these are the Pulsen ones. Maybe, I mean, they're called Pulsen. Did I call them Arrow? Like what? I don't know. I have no clue. Slingshot? Is that what I called it? I think it's Slingshot. There's a text folder. Yeah, and each one is a separate image. Oh my god. Oh my god. Every arrow. Okay, so this particular arrow has 512 frames of animation. 512. 64 is like nothing. This one has 16 frames. That one has 512. Man, I went all out. Well, I didn't make it. I commissioned it, but I mean, I went all out in paying for somebody to do that. Okay. This one has also 512. Wow. This one has... Aha! I found something. See? This is a sprite for these ones, and they're all separate here. But these are... they're still separate images, but there are separate images of 8. And the reason it's like this is that it has to be divisible by 2 and some other things, and it can't be over 2 megs or something like that for the bitmap and something... I don't remember. But these are 64 frames. So each individual arrow is 64 frames a second. The other ones are 512, probably because they're for a full beat. Or not a full beat, a full measure. So of 4 beats in a measure, that's what it would show. So basically, over an entire measure of music, you would have 512 frames of animation display. But for each beat of animation, this is 1 beat. Boom, 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 boom. That's 1 beat. And so there's 64 frames of animation in the new one for every beat. In this old one, there's 16 frames of animation per beat. So it's significantly less, like a quarter of it. So the new one will be even more interesting because we're going to update it even more often. I really wonder how this React 3 Fiber stuff works because, I mean, I'm surprised this is working with the fact that it's re-rendering this component over and over and over again, having to VDOM diff all this stuff. Maybe it's not VDOM diffing it, and that's why. No, it has to VDOM diff. How does React work? How would it know that only this piece changed? It doesn't. So but it's not a VDOM. It's not a virtual DOM diff. It's like a virtual mesh diff or something. It's looking at object properties instead of like the whole DOM with like a billion properties on it. These have properties though. Lots of properties, just less of them. VDOM diffing can be very slow. So I guess like this works. I'm done for today. I can mess with it later and figure out how to like program the game and stuff, but I'm more interested in working with the 3D pieces right now and, you know, seeing how to get this to work. It'd be cool if I added this to the website where you can click on the arrow and see the different node skins live. But even the cooler thing would be is if you want to buy the game, I just want you to the website and you can play a demo of it in JavaScript. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. The thing is that would all be all my source code, like right there for everybody. I'd have to make it like an Electron app. And if I show people myself coding it from scratch, then somebody could technically rewrite the whole game. It would take time, but they could definitely do it. And some people would actually have the money and stuff to do it. Thing is, if they can't make money off it, it's not going to be worthwhile. So I don't know. But I could definitely show how I build this whole thing out, the game, in JavaScript, because I think I can make it work. I think I can get it to even read the files. I think I can like make an Electron app that is essentially the game, and it's going to be more performant than the game is. Now, I don't really know how this three.js works. I don't know how, because the original game is, as far as I know, it's not multi-threaded. So if it runs in a single thread, I can I can use workers and stuff to do other things to make it multi-threaded in JavaScript. Honestly, it'd be probably one of the most fun projects I've done in years, is rewriting my entire game in JavaScript. And it would be better than it is right now. I have more control over it that way. It's already responsive. The game code as I have it today is responsive. I didn't even know what responsive design was. I didn't do any web work prior to working on the game. It was my first programming project, but I made it. I altered the engine to make it responsive by firing messages like events, like window.resize, or window resize events. I had a resize event essentially that would broadcast messages to every component on the page, and if they had a listener for that event or that broadcast, then they would react to it, and they would like a function would get called in there, and that could modify the x and y values. It could modify more than that. It could modify the whole thing. It could start spinning or whatever if you change the resolution. But I had it set up to basically just change the x and y values. I mean, that's really the only thing I did, which is essentially what you do with responsive designs today. But I had to program all that manually. Stuff today, you do an app media query and your CSS just works magic. I had to do all of that from scratch, like how to position things relative to each other. It was a lot more work. So with JavaScript, this game would be, I think, significantly easier to make. And it's built in a way that I would build JavaScript applications today. So I don't think it's that hard. It'd honestly be a really fun project, but it would take a year to rewrite it. Not because it would take a year of my time, but mainly because I don't have time. Then it would take a year of me on and off working on it on weekends or in the evenings. Yeah, we just started with a texture, and the texture looks awful, very low res. But once I get the real arrows in there, it'll be really nice. I just gotta install Milky or Blender or something that can read these files, and then make the OBJs or whatever they need to be to load in here, GFL loader, whatever. So this is gonna be pretty cool. All right, thanks for watching. Goodbye.